Hello, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Michelle. I knit, sew, occasionally spin, and cross stitch now. So that's fun. And this is where I share all the things that I've made. And I hope you've brought something to drink. I have coffee today. Finally, I have had so many days of migraines without coffee. So today's a good day. I'm going to try to keep it somewhat calm-ish because I have been having a lot of goblin energy lately. So we're just going to try to... No responsibilities. So we're just going to like try to be, you know, chill. So before I jump into it, I'm just gonna say that I'm wearing my Pure Fuzz sweater that I talked about on the last one, and I think the one before that, and it's super cozy. I will say this yarn, I haven't wore this too much, but I don't think it's going to hold up well. It's pilling a lot. Yeah, like what even is that? But I'm pretty sure it's yarn bee, so I won't have any more of this, so I won't have to worry about that. And this is a pattern by Skeindeer Knits. And I don't believe it's free anymore. I think there was like a week where it was free if you signed up for her newsletter, and I'm pretty sure that's how I got it. But it's a really great pattern. I changed it up a bit, so this isn't exactly what it's supposed to look like, so keep that in mind. But it is a really good pattern. I really like the shoulder construction. She uses the contiguous method, where you kind of knit the back and shoulders, and then you kind of go like increases on the front and back and just straight on the shoulders, and then it shapes around the shoulder instead of shaping around the front and back of your, like, instead of raglan shaping. So yeah, and I really like the way that it fits, and I hope to use it in future projects. But I think that's all that I have to say about this one. Let's see, I don't have any finished, oh, I do have a finished object, but I don't have it with me. And I'll put up some pictures. It's a little baby Maja cardigan that I made for my nephew Atticus, and it's so cute. And I also made him a 2x2 ribbed beanie with a giant pom-pom on top. It's so cute. I am obsessed with it. And I made that with Lion brand yarn, Touch of Alpaca, in this gorgeous green, which is 90% acrylic, 10% alpaca, and the color's olive, and I can't remember the color of the, oh, I have a mess. It's like, oh, I wish I could remember the color of this. It's funny because like this color is considered oats, and I don't see that at all. I see more of like a geode thing going on, and I would call this one oats because it's just that perfect, like, natural. I just wish I could remember the name of this, but yeah, they go really well together. I made my husband a pair of socks with this that he never wears, so that's fun. And the charts, I kind of just took the numbers in the charts and made my stitch count just divisible by whichever chart I was working on, and I would do increases and decreases between the chart sections just to make it work out. It wasn't too hard, but it did take me a while to like get my brain processing right when I was trying to figure out what I was doing. But hopefully he'll be able to wear it for a little bit longer. I based the stitch count off of, I think it was the Moonbeam sweater by Bad Wolf. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And I did the 9 to 12 months, and he's a little over 6 months and pretty much fitting into 9 months clothes, so I figured 9 to 12 would be safe, but I really don't know how fast he's gonna grow out of that, because it looks like it fits him perfectly. I just hope that he gets a little bit more wear out of it before he grows out of it. I'll make him more sweaters, but I just really like this one so much. It's so cute. I do have a half-finished object, which is a pair of ghosted socks. Well, I guess it's not a pair, it's just one. For my friend, which is why it doesn't fit on my sock blocker, because it's for a man. And he has a white German Shepherd named Ghost, who I love. So he's getting little ghosty socks. And the second sock, I am not too far on the toe, but these ones whipped up pretty quick. The pattern's written cuff down, and I believe in my last episode I did show them as cuff down, and later, actually I knit pretty far down. I don't know if I talked about it in my last episode, but I knit pretty far down. I ripped back, and it just was too big, so I decided going from the bottom up would probably be better. So I just did the pattern backwards, which is what I do with a lot of top down socks. Like, I don't trust myself to not run out of yarn, for one, and I just like to try it on as I go, I guess. I'm not a cuff down person. But this is yarn that I dyed for my friend's staghead pullover. It is superwash, and I don't have that much of it left now after these, which is fine because I really don't want to hold on to a lot of superwash yarn. But I hope to finish these soon and give them to my friend, because I feel like it's taken me a really long time to even cast them on. So that is my hoe. And I have a pretty good amount of whips, I think. I think there's one that I'm not gonna show, which is the night book, because I have not touched it since I showed it on the podcast. I literally stuck it over there and didn't touch it. So that's gonna stay. First one is the Hawthorn sweater for my sister, with this yarn from Hobbii. It's Navia Duo. I feel like I've talked about it so much. When I went to see her, she said that it wasn't too scratchy, so we're good on that. Ooh, and I'm like almost out of this ball. I haven't gotten very far. I really didn't work on too much on our trip. We went to Tennessee and North Carolina for our 10-year anniversary, and we camped with the dogs. I'll put in some stuff at the end if you care to stick around and look at that. It was fun. Went and visited my mom. I met Atticus. Everything was great. It was too short, and we only camped for 2 days because it was like 32 degrees. But anyway, this is my Hawthorn sweater, and yeah, I only have a little bit more to go before I separate for the sleeves, so I've just been slowly knitting away at this one. A lot of them have been very slow going. There's one that I've been working on non-stop. I'll show that in a bit. The next one you have not seen since I think episode 2, which is insane to me. And I somehow got it into this tiny bag. It is my Elfmail. And I am so proud to say I've finished the body and I'm now on the sleeve. I haven't worked on it in a while. I did a lot when I was working on it. I think the last time you saw it, it was about here. And I did so much more. The bottom's all scrunchy. But I'm this far on the sleeve. And I think I'm just decreasing as I feel. I'll try it on and then I'll go from there. I don't know if I have decreased at all, actually. I also don't think that the pattern has you do this side seam down the arm, but I did it anyway just because I figured if I do decrease at all, it would look better if I had the side thing. Because when you're doing like, I don't know if you would call this moss stitch. I don't know what the name is for this stitch, but you're doing alternating knits and purls, and if you don't have something there, it looks weird if you have like 2 purls bumped up against each other, so I figured I'd just keep it going. And that's all. No other reasons. I do like to make tiny alterations to patterns like that if I see a necessity for it. I really am so excited for this one to be done. It's so pretty. I wish I could have finished it while I was still playing a druid in our D&D campaign, but it's fine. I'm a druid in real life, so it's fine. But I'm super excited to finish this. And this pattern is by Danny Mika. And now I'm gonna try to fit it back into this tiny, tiny bag. I didn't fold it before. Maybe I shouldn't fold it again. This seems like it'll work. Magic. I love this bag with all my pins. My little Molly pin. It's my favorite. Okay, next we have my Wavebreak by Unwind Knitwear, which I am making with knitting Niqabi Green Gables in the mid-brown Mashem base. And BFL, of course. Ugh. She just made a toffee colorway with this yarn, and I'm obsessed with that too. I have so much yarn though. I don't need any more yarn. I don't even have any money to buy any yarn, so that's probably for the best. And then the mohair is it's a mohair that I picked up in New Orleans when I was there, and I can't remember what yarn this is, but I'll put it in the description. It's really nice, and it comes with like 930 something yards, I think, which is insane. This was actually the most expensive single skein of yarn that I've ever bought, I'm pretty sure. It was $40, which is insane. But I was on vacation, so anyways. to knitting on this for a while after I got past the where you join the mohair and the main color, but I've set a schedule for myself to start working on literally all my whips throughout the week, so hopefully that will help me get through some of them. But I'm so excited about this. I know I talked a lot about it in the last episode, and I've had it in my cart for a long time, and I just cannot believe that I've finally decided on a yarn to use for it. It's gonna be gorgeous. And I think I've been putting off getting past the sleeves on a lot of my patterns just because I use like other needles, like shorter, maybe 16-inch needles or the 9-inch needles just to hold the sleeves, and I don't want all of my needle sets to be used up. I don't want to have too many things holding sleeves. I want to get through the sleeves that I need to get through first, if that makes sense. But I really do want to keep knitting on this because it's just so nice to hold. I love it. And the yarns are just amazing. The baubles. I'm not a baubles person. If you like baubles and like to knit baubles, then that's wonderful for you. But man, I hate baubles. But luckily these are teeny baubles, and they're done with just mohair, which is very interesting. And I'm glad this isn't the kind of mohair that has like loops coming off of it, because there are some mohairs where I would not be able to make a bauble with that. But this is pretty fine. I love this lace. The pattern's pretty intense, but I'd say if you're thinking about doing it and you really like the way that it looks, then just go for it, because you can get through it. It's not hard to do. It's just take it row by row, honestly. The lace is really fun. The hardest part was like getting through the just flat stockinette section so that you can get to the same level as get to the same length as the mohair so that you can join them. And then of course waiting for it to dry, because you definitely want to block it first before you join them, so that you know that they're going to be the right length and there's not going to be like a weird bubble anywhere. But yeah, definitely if you like this pattern and are curious about knitting it, I definitely say go for it. I'm hoping this is going to be one of my favorite sweaters. Just gotta take my time, make sure everything goes perfectly. Ugh. Okay. Also, Unwind Knitwear has been coming out with so many new patterns. If you haven't checked out her Instagram, do it, because she's just pumping them out, man. It's crazy. I did want to show the possibility of crows, just because I haven't showed it in a while, and I did work on it a little bit, and I don't think I showed it after that. I am doing it differently. So I've got all these little, it's such a mess. This probably wasn't a good idea. I have the tops of are these the moon phases? I think this is the moon phases. Because at first I thought it was the top of like the crow's head, but I think there's just one crow. It's been a while since I've even opened the pattern, but this is definitely on my weekly to-do list. So it's one of those things where you really, really want it to be done, but you don't want to go through the process of doing it for all the purling rows, which I've noticed, like, the more that I do purling rows, the less annoying they are. I'm learning to love purl rows. It's just gonna take a while. And I'm still undecided about what I want to do for the front part. I've seen people do a lot of cool creative things, so I have plenty of time to think about that. But my goodness, this is gonna be so warm when it's done. I love it so much. And I went through like a wardrobe dump. I got rid of one of my favorite like long cardigans, and I need one. So I need to finish this. In my planner I had a little note saying that I wanted to finish this by April, but it's not happening. I wish, but I just didn't have that much time. Now that I think about it, and in my next whip, I guess I could show you, but I learned about the ladder technique for color work with large distances, and I could have done that here, I guess. I feel like it would have wasted a lot of yarn though, just even with the floats, because like with this there's no floats. You're just going back and forth and then locking. I don't even remember what this is called. I'm a terrible knitter. I don't know the words for things, I just do them. I look it up on YouTube, learn it, and then I do it. But yeah, I made an entire blanket like this once or twice. But like, this is how you do the corner to corner blankets in crochet, which I've done like 4 of those, and they're huge and they take a lot of time, and I don't ever want to do that again. But I might. Never say never. But hopefully you'll be seeing more of this little guy, because I'm planning to work on it much more this month. And it's The Possibility of Crows by Disarray. And it's amazing. Ugh. Just can't wait for all of this stuff. It just takes so long to do it. And I don't know how I even fit this in the bag. My last whip is a test knit, and I'm so excited. I'm using yarn from Hobbii Duo Navia, or Navia Duo. I got black and also this, I think it's called like something teak. I can't remember. It's color number 267. That helps. But they're super cute together. And I'm making the Shadow Work sweater by Curio Stitches. It is. I don't know how I fit any of my sweaters in these bags. Okay, here we go. It's got runes all down it. You pick your own runes. So I've got, I'm gonna butcher these names. There's Ensues, Isa, Othala, Algaes, I think, and then the bottom 2 are Urus and Nauthies. And I put all my little wooden runes into a bag, and then I pulled 6 out, and that's what I'm putting on here, which is funny because I did it at a time in my life that was crazy, and it just gave me so much more motivation to do this because of the meanings of them. Like, Ensues is communication, inspiration. Isa is stillness, identity, focus. Othala is safety, home, and like being at peace. Algaes is like warding, protection, being in the higher self. Let me see. Aruz was next, which is freedom and persistence and strength. And Nauthis is innovation, endurance, and survival. And they just really resonated with what was going on in my life at that point. And I thought that was really cool. So I'm really excited about this. It's gonna be like super comfy. Oh, I'll show my little ladder technique that I learned from one of the other testers. I doubt they're watching, but if you are, thank you so much. That saved me like so much. You have no idea. But it's just little, like, you just add extra stitches on the first round, and then every following round, you bring the yarn, both the yarns to the front, and then you either knit or purl that extra stitch with the contrast color, and then you bring them back, and then you just keep going, and then at the end, when you don't need the ladder anymore, you just knit that stitch with the next one, and it's gone. You never see it. It looks awesome. Like, I mean, the first section of runes doesn't look terrible. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I did use it on the first section. I didn't use it on like the first couple rows. You really can't tell though. But man, it has saved me so much because I hate long floats. Whoops, I pulled all the stitches out. That's okay. Just do this. I just want to spread this out so I can show you guys. Like, it looks really good. Not that I'm going to be stretching this sweater to its limits, but it's good to know that if I did, it would be fine. But yeah, that's the shadow work. I don't know if it's just shadow work or shadow work runes. I believe there's a whole collection of shadow work patterns that Ellie is releasing. So I'm really excited about all of them. I think there's a hat, maybe mittens, I can't remember. I know there's like super cozy socks. And the cool thing about it is that everyone's is going to be different. Even though they're the same, they're going to be just a little different depending on what runes you pick. So I think that's a really cool idea. And once again, Ellie proves to be a genius. And I'm just so excited for this. Everyone is so far in the testing, and I feel so terrible because I've been in such a slump lately and I haven't really knit that much. What I have been doing is a ton of cross stitching, which I'm about to show you, but not much knitting, which is why I set up my schedule. But I'll talk about that later too. This is gonna be a long episode, my goodness. But anyways, keep your eyes out for this gorgeous shadow work sweater because it's gonna be awesome. Now I want to try to fit it back in this bag like the rest of them. Before I get into my cross stitching, I did buy some yarn for that test knit and another test knit that I'm doing, and I did already show this. So I got these from Hobbii. I got a lot of black, and then I also bought a bunch of this gorgeous Prarie Spun DK. I can't remember where I got it, but it's Brown Sheep Company, and it's like wonderful. And this color is called Red Cedar. I thought it looked more of like a deep red. Like I almost thought it was going to be like this color, but it's just a little bit more brown, which I'm not mad about. I really like this color. It's gorgeous. And my husband even said he wants a sweater in this color, so I'll have to get more eventually. I think I got like 6 skeins of this, which might be a lot. We'll see. But it is 100% wool, 3-ply, DK, and I'm super excited about what this is going to be too. And I got one other thing. Oh my god, it's not gonna stay. Okay. Oh, this is so exciting. So, Knitting Niqabi has monthly subscription box now. I don't know if you could call it a subscription box. It's just a monthly box. And then there's the herbology one and then the mythical creatures one. And the herbology one for April looks so amazing. I think last month was elderberries. I got the mythical creatures because it was based off of gnomes, and I love gnomes. This next month I think is gonna be unicorns, but the gnomes, I don't know how. Okay, I'm getting into like I'm getting too excited, but the depth of color in this skein, and I just don't know how she did it with natural colors. It just blows my mind, but here it is. And I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it, but it's so beautiful. Look at these blues. It's called a freaking Hupperduke. Oh my god. Like, I screamed about that for probably like 5 minutes, and Tom was like, I don't know what you're talking about. For those of you who don't know, Hupperduke is a town in Exandria, I guess. What is it? It's in Wildmount in Exandria from Critical Role. And it's a really cool town. And this was dyed with indigo and madder root. And I'm just astounded. Like, look at the fade on that. Ugh, what am I gonna do with this? Man, I don't even know. I just want to stare at it. It's so beautiful. Ah, I love it so much. But if you have any ideas, maybe like a cowl or something. I don't know. It's really cool. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know if blue is a good color for me to be near my face. But I feel like I'm the kind of person who can pull off anything. I have that confidence. We'll see. Let me know if you have any ideas, because I'm just like fangirling over all of it right now, and my brain is just mush. But yeah, that is the beautiful mythical creatures Hupperduke by Knitting Niqabi. And go check out the 2 new boxes, because you're gonna want to get them. They're amazing. I can't remember what April's Herbology is. It looked beautiful though. I just want all of the things. There's also one more thing, knitting related, that I wanted to talk about, which is this Love Note sweater that I made for my sister. Love Note is patterned by Tin Can Knits. I made 5 of them in like 2 months for my family for Christmas, and I never want to do that again. Although I didn't get bored of the pattern because it's gorgeous and super quick, but I don't ever want to knit that many sweaters in that little span of time ever again. But it's just a little short for her liking. I'm pretty sure the pattern, I think there's a cropped version and a not cropped version. I believe the sleeves are long enough. I have hair in my eye. I think she said the sleeves are long enough. But the body just needs to come down a little bit. Maybe like, couple inches. And I'm really impressed with how this yarn is holding up. Because it doesn't seem like it's pilling too bad. Even in like the armpits is where I usually see a lot of pilling, and it's really not that bad. Mine always felt in the armpits. It's a little felted. I just love this color so much. I think it's Ancient Pines. Yes. It is light alpaca. Ooh, I'll pull this out. I got so much of this. I think I showed it once. It's Labribus light alpaca by Knit Crate. When I was doing Knit Crate. I just wish it wasn't superwash. Oh wait, I don't think it is superwash. It just says 100% baby alpaca. Oh, that makes me so happy. Oh my gosh. Oh, and I have this, I probably did show this before, but I have a ton of this chestnut color also that I just don't know what to do with. I have like 6 more skeins of this. I mean, I have plenty to make this longer, but, and I think I knit it holding 2 strands. Yeah. My mind is like blown right now that this isn't superwash. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so excited about that. And I also thought it would stretch. That's why I made it as short as it is. Cause like I figured, sure, if it's cropped, she can rock a crop top. She's tiny. But then I thought it would stretch, and it did a little. Like the lacing stretch out, which is beautiful. The little leaves. I don't know if you can see that. They're super pretty. This pattern is amazing. But yeah, I just thought the body would stretch more. I'm just gonna rip the ribbing back and just make it a little longer. And that's that. And I also realized today that I don't think I ever shared the yarn I spun on here. Which is really weird because I finished it recently. Well, one I didn't. This, I think I might have shared this before it was in cake form. This is terrible. This is the worst single. It's so bad. It's so overspun, and it's not gonna be perfect first or second time. And this is all yarn, or it's all fiber that I got for free, so it's not like I'm wasting anything, but this is also terrible. I don't even know. It feels hard. Like, it's so overspun. It just, I 3-plied this, or I chain plied this one. Yeah. That one was a single, and this is chain plied, and it's just, it's so bad. I'm not striving for perfection here. I thought that I could do better, and clearly something was going on that I was not grasping. But here we are. I'll do something with this. The fluffier bits seem nice, but man, it is so overspun. Maybe I'll keep this as an art yarn, because I wouldn't want to wear this. It's not even like, it's not scratchy. The wool feels good. It's just the actual thread of it feels like rope. It's terrible. But yeah, that's what I've spun. And I haven't spun since, and that was like 2 months ago. So I kind of got a little discouraged there, but that's okay. I'll pick it back up eventually. As far as cross stitching goes, I've been doing that nonstop for like the last week probably. And I have 3 little dudes. 3 of my cryptids are done, and they're so cute. And the next one is the Jersey Devil, which is my favorite. So I am so excited about that too. I was really afraid that this wasn't gonna fit on here until I realized like how small they were. I love the little moth man. I still haven't figured out how to keep the dog hair from getting trapped under all the little stitches. But it just gives it character, right? Oh, little nightcrawler is so cute. Okay. But yeah, that's my cross stitching. I have plans for another pattern that I don't think I've purchased yet, but I want to make cross stitch for other people. So that should be cool. I just want to get like a good chunk of this done so that I don't feel like I'm a piece of human garbage. I also cut out I cut out enough fabric to make 2 more bags that I will probably sell. One of them is gonna look like this. Ooh, but bigger. It's gonna be about 2 inches wider than this one. Probably about the same height. And then the other one is going to be this. Ooh, that's covered in hair. I am sorry. It's gonna be my little tarot card fabric and my little waves. This is probably my favorite bag. That's a lie. The mushrooms is my favorite. This one. Because I just love mushrooms. And I am out of this fabric. I need to get more fabric so that I can make more bags so that I can sell them. But I don't have any money to buy more fabric, to make more bags, to sell them. Life is difficult. I also bought little snips that I don't know if I showed. Maybe I did. If I did show them, I'll cut this out, but they're little bunny rabbits. Oh God. They're so cute. Little bunnies. I almost went with a traditional bird, but the bunny is definitely more me. He's so cute. Ugh. I love him. I do have a few plans for future knits. I think I said before that I want to make the Billy pullover with my golden ticket yarn from Knitting Niqabi. I still want to do that. I don't know if I still want to change the center cable thing because I just don't feel like it. And I'm growing to like the honeycomb look. So it should be fine. I also need to make another Felix out of my Patons sock yarn, because I just gave my black Felix to my sister because the sleeves were a bit too tight. And I'm noticing a theme every time I knit a sweater. I realize it's like something's weird with it and it doesn't fit me right, and then I give it to someone. So I'm gonna try to be more mindful of my actual body size rather than what size I think I am, because after we moved back to America, I gained 40 pounds. So that's been difficult. I've also been trying to get back into yoga, which has been very hard for some reason for me to just slow down. I don't know. Hopefully now that I'm not working and stressed about work, I want to get into like a daily routine. I want to get into a routine with my videos. I want to get into a routine with my knitting. I want to figure out if I want to keep this many whips or if I want to work on some until they're done and then not cast on anything new, because I have like cast-on-itis like insane, and I'm sure other people are the same way, because like as soon as you're done with something, you're excited about that and it's fun and you finally have a garment, but then it's like I have to make something else. And I know I'm not the only one who struggles with that, but I don't know if I want to bring my whip number down and then go from there, maybe to like a 3 or 4. Because right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then that blanket that I haven't shown in a while. So let's say like 10 whips, which isn't that much if you ask other people. Now I just sound like I'm like making excuses for a problem. But yeah, let me know what you think, because my brain is constantly mush and I'm not good at decision making. So should I finish some things first, get my whips down to a small group, and then think about casting on stuff? Or should I just continue with my cast off, cast on chaos? Let me know. Oh, I also have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 socks. 5 other socks. So that's like 15 whips. Okay, so yeah. Socks don't count. We all know socks don't count. No one's counting socks. Forget I even said that. So for my schedule, what I decided is I'm just going to work on each separate whip day by day. So like one day I'll do however many hours of one. And then I did not include cross stitching because I feel like I could do that whenever. If I am feeling burnt out from knitting, I can just pick up my cross stitching and watch a couple episodes of something and do that. And then I can pick my knitting back up. But I want to focus on specific patterns on specific days for now and see if that helps, because I find that I will leave things that I'm working on sleeves in a dark corner somewhere and never touch them until I force myself to. So this is me forcing myself to, and hopefully that gets a lot of my very old whips and very anticipated sweaters finished, like the night book, the Elfmail, my possibility of crows. Ugh, I just want to have them. So that's the plan, and hopefully I can stick to it. Wow, I have talked so much, my throat's starting to hurt, so I'm gonna leave it there. thank you so much for joining me. I know this was probably a lot, and I really apologize if I came off as a little chaos brain, because that's just who I am as a person, and it's just how it's gonna be, I guess. I always think that, like, there will be a time where everything goes smoothly and everything makes sense, and my brain isn't gonna be this jumble of nonsense that I hope I can, like, form full sentences. And it's just never gonna be like that, because that's not who I am, and I hope that's okay. I've grown to love it, but I do appreciate everyone sticking around and watching my videos, because it means so much to me. I don't get a lot of human interaction, so this is my way of being an extroverted introvert, because it's so much easier talking to a camera for some reason than it is a living, breathing human. So that's just the way it is. But I will see you guys next time. Hopefully it won't be as long as it was this time. I always say that, and I think that I need to stop saying that, because it always ends up going like way longer. So no more of that. I'll see you when I see you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Oh, you're so cute. Hi! He's like, ma'am, how long have you been watching me? Hi, Bubba. What, are you hungies? Are you hungies? Are you a good boy? Yes, you are a good boy. Oh my goodness. What do you think?